This is Riedoh Berdien, strength and conditioning coach for the South African national women's team. As part of the conditioning warm-up types, we focus on an isolated extensive warm-up with a hurdle hip mobility, allowing a slow integration into your training. Enjoy. This extensive warm-up is divided in two phases: one hip mobility phase, two extensive dynamic phase. Hurdles are placed 2 meters apart. Athletes move through the hurdles, extending with high knee full range movements. In between the hurdles, actions of squats, adductor stretches, lunges, and one-legged lunges are performed. Trainer coaches should encourage athletes to take their time, as their focus should be on the quality of movements instead of the quantity. The hurdle forces the athletes to produce a full range of movement. This allows a slow integration building up into your training. After 2 hurdle mobility actions, we integrate gentle squats, keeping the back in a good, steady shape or posture. Hurdle mobility actions facing side-on is now being performed. We're still encouraging our athletes to perform a full range of quality movements. High knee raises using the arms is a perfect example of this hip hurdle mobility movement or action. The same hip mobility movement is performed facing the other side. Adductor stretches are now being introduced after performing the hip mobility movement. One-legged lunges or squats is being performed. Ending of phase 1 of the hip mobility warm-up. We're encouraging players to integrate good conditioning elements of balance, coordination and control. Each action is repeated, one leg on the left and then on the right. Quicker actions should now be introduced. Actions of shuffling, forward backward running actions and backward shuffling actions. These actions increase the heart rate slightly, increasing the athlete's blood circulation. Forward shuffling actions are being performed, starting from the left to the right and then from the right to the left. Forward and backward running actions are being performed, starting from the left to the right and then from the right to the left. Backward shuffling actions are being performed, starting from the left to the right and then from the right to the left. Coaches should encourage the athletes to open their body when performing these actions. We proceed with the second phase of the warm-up. Players perform dynamic movements or stretches for 20 meters and jog at 50 to 60% on return. Note that action starts off slower and a higher recovery time is given before performing the next dynamic action. It's important to have a type of structure within your dynamic stretches. In most sessions we activate the upper body muscles, working our way down to the calf muscles, etc. The next dynamic movement or action is being performed, namely a gentle side shuffle or skip, using the arms facing the left and then the right. The next dynamic movement or action is being performed, namely a karaoke, which is a side-on movement, swinging your trailing leg across and to the back of your body. Ten-meter actions of backward running integrated into a 10-meter backward shuffling action, still encouraging players to open their body smoothly and gently in a rhythmic way. Working your way down, players activating their quads by flicking their heels onto their buttocks. These actions are performed in a rhythmic way. We're now activating the hamstrings with high knee raises and touching the inside of the ankles, activating the adductors. Actions are done in a rhythmic way. We're still activating the hamstrings and adductors, doing rotational movements, opening the legs, then closing it, encouraging a full, complete range of movement. Glutes and hamstring muscles are being activated as we use kicking action, encouraging your players to kick the leg across the body, replicating a football action. The important hamstring muscles is being targeted as we extend, pushing the legs, flicking it backwards, pulling it into your body, bending the knees, creating a push and pull action. We reverse the dynamic action by pulling the extended leg to your body, flicking it downwards, pushing it away from your body, bending the knees, creating a pulling and pushing action. Leg extensions are being performed, building up, reaching the highest possible point. No bending of the knees during this dynamic movement. 10 meters skipping actions are being performed, building up to a 10-meter leap jumps. We end off this extensive warm-up with hip and hurdle mobility, with the landing and jumping actions, performing progressive triple jumping actions. This is Riedoh Berdien, and thank you for watching. We will see you soon.